Thank you all for being here. I know that you are change makers, creators, and being committed to something and in community just says a lot about who you are as people. So like Chris said, my name is Christina Welty. I am a former assistant principal turned multi-six-figure education consultant and now business mentor to educators who are ready to price their worth. So, when I came into this space, I intended to just work with schools, doing curriculum, instructional coaching, and then various kinds of consulting with school and district leaders. And then it evolved, of course, into other teacherpreneurs and edupreneurs saying, hey, Christina, how'd you get started? Like, we want to do what you're doing. What are your frameworks for this? What are your strategies for this? And so that's a word of advice to everyone. You have another income stream waiting for you if you have not also turned what you're currently doing and what you've been able to do in your business into a business coaching branch as well. So that's kind of my first little golden nugget for you. There are people that want to learn from you, right? And understand how you were able to do what you've accomplished in your own businesses. So over the last few years, my frameworks and strategies that people have asked me to talk have proven successful for others, many of whom have also had TPT stores like yourself, and they've generated over $2 million in cash cumulatively. And this is not by doing more, not by working more hours, or even creating more resources, but by doing less and doing it better. So I'm really going to show you and talk you through today how to turn your teacher brilliance into a premium revenue machine. And I hope that your eyes are opened to what else is possible for you. Because like I said, you've already proven that you're a go-getter. You have your store, you've sold your products, you are engaging in community, you're looking to grow yourself. And these are things that most people in the world are not willing to do. Fun fact, only 11% of business owners surpass 6 figures in revenue in their business. Pretty shocking statistic, right? So the title of this session is The Teacherpreneur's Pivot, How to Leverage What You Already Sell into Scalable High Ticket Revenue. And that's what you already sell in your TPT store. So I'm really going to walk you through in 4 parts, several things. The first part is the bridge from TPT to high ticket. So how do you shift from resource creator to a solution provider to schools and districts, or even to other teachers selling your coaching services? Part 2, I'm going to break down for you the 3 high ticket pathways that a lot of my clients take as TPT sellers to create more flexible schedules and really up their pricing based on their results. In part 3, I'm going to give you the actual sales system. And then in part 4, we're going to talk about the mindset and mission shift that you have to have when selling high ticket. And that's probably the most important work, because when I tell you the number one thing that I had to change was realizing that I can price my worth, and that the only one standing in the way of me not doing that was me. So I started charging at $30 an hour and I went, wait, the results I'm providing, first of all, I'm not really getting paid for because I'm finishing the work so quickly. So 1, I'm actually not getting paid for the time. But 2, I'm actually not even I don't need to be charging based on time. I need to be charging based on the transformations that I give schools and districts. So let's dive into part 1. This is the bridge from TPT to high ticket. The truth is, if you've sold something on TPT, even just once, you've already proven your concept. Because what are schools looking for? Teacher buy-in. Teacher buy-in, right? It's such a cliche phrase that I don't even like using it anymore. But as an assistant principal, if you could show me that teachers were about it, okay, let's get it. So someone saw your resource, they said yes, and that means that you solve a problem that someone has, and that's what you're selling, is the problem, okay? So that's all that high ticket is, y'all. That's all it is. You are problem solving at a premium level. So the problem is, and maybe we don't even need to call it a problem, right? But what you're used to doing is TPT is keeping you in that low ticket hustle. And it's not a bad hustle. It's not a wrong hustle. It's just that there's more money to be made than TPT. I make money on TPT. I sell resources weekly. But the reality is, for most people, we have our unicorns, right? The people that are making 10,000 plus on TPT. But the real money that comes more quickly lies in high ticket. So you're doing all of this work, right? For selling some $5 things, some $20 things, some really great bundles, right? I have a curriculum bundle that's like, I think it's like 160 or something like that, right? But I want you to get in your mind that instead of trying to sell your best product to 1,000 people, okay, you're going to start thinking about how to solve a bigger problem for fewer people at a higher price point. So I'll say that again. You're going to start thinking about how to solve a bigger problem for fewer people at a higher price point, right? Because low ticket requires high volume. High ticket requires low volume. My client who landed like 3 new school clients and 2 of them were renewals, she did $93,000 in sales in a week. Why? Because she's charging premium prices to fewer people who see her worth and want to pay her worth. There's a huge difference there. And this is the pivot. That's the whole point of this session, right? The Teacherpreneur's pivot. It's a really powerful pivot. You're going from I'm selling a product to I'm selling a premium solution. You're going from I have a teacher store to I have a transformational service. Okay. So that wraps up our part 1. I would guess that your wheels are already turning real big in your brain, right? So part 2, we're diving into the 3 high ticket paths for TPT sellers. So these are, in my opinion, okay, the most common and profitable high ticket paths that I help my clients launch from their already proven expertise, okay, as K-12 educators. So the first is district and school consulting. And a lot of people go, well, I'm not a consultant. Well, yes, you are, because you have strategies that you help people implement, okay? What's the difference between consulting and coaching? Consulting is, hey, here's how I would do this, and here's the solution I'm going to recommend to you. This is how you're going to get the result. Coaching is, I'm going to ask you some questions, and together we're going to partner, and we're going to come up with a solution together. So what I do in my business mentorship is we do a combination of both of those things. So you are going to package your best sellers, right, from TPT into plug and play solutions. So you're going to expand them. What's a full-on service or program that you could create for schools, not just a course, right? Think about training, onboarding, coaching. So you combine all these things. See, TPT gets us stuck in this rut of selling things a la carte. When you sell high ticket, there's no a la carte. Here's the package. This is what I offer. When you all see my coaching offer, you're going to see that. Everything is all together, because my solutions separately aren't going to give you the result that everything I do is going to give you all together. So that's how you get the $10,000 offer. So again, consulting is advising on a strategy. What's the instructional or system strategy that you want to advise schools, districts, or teachers on? Because here's the craziest thing. I have clients who have teachers popping in their DMs going, hey, love what you're doing. I want to connect you with my principal and get y'all to chat. And then they get funding for private instructional coaching through their principal through a connection on Instagram, right? So the possibilities are endless. You get to create whatever you want to create. One of my clients landed an $18,000 school contract just by repackaging these classroom bundles into a 3-month PD and instructional coaching offer that also included her curriculum. And that's one sale. And this is not for like 40 hours of work a week, y'all. This is her going to campus once a week for 4 times a month. And then she's having like a virtual meeting once a week with her teachers. So I think there were 4 teachers. So what? You're looking at 5 hours a week right there. So, and it's because people are paying for the transformations. They don't want things to take a long time. They want to know that you're going to get results. Okay, so the second high ticket path is group programs or courses for teachers. So take the strategy behind your resource creation, behind your selling strategy, because Tracy is selling different than Chris, right? Laura's selling different than Heather. You all have things that you come together and say, hey, let's do this the same. But then you also each have your own proven methods for doing things. Okay, so offer, support, community, and application. Chris is a great example of this, right? And then we think through, okay, depending on how many months you're doing this for and what kind of support you're providing, this is a $2,000 to $5,000 course. So one of my clients had her first $15,000 month putting her classroom management resources into a course and running it live. The third high ticket path is parent coaching and student support. So think tutoring, right? Working directly with students. Yes, you can sell your expertise to families. Now more than ever, families are hiring private tutors. They want this for their kids, especially with the homeschooling explosion and the micro school explosion. There are so many people looking to contract out experts like you. So use your best resources to build a parent course or tutoring offer. And these are all separate funnels, by the way. You've got to build the different sales systems for them. So these are just the beginning. There is no one right path. Oftentimes people come to me and they say, Christina, I know I want to sell high ticket, but where do I start? What do I sell? So if you're at that point, I help you to come up with what can that high ticket offer even be. The number one goal of that, though, is it has to match your purpose and passion. Like, if it doesn't bring you joy, you shouldn't be selling it. Like, let's be real, because in teaching and education, we get in this grind of, oh, well, I have to do this, and this is compliance. And no. You didn't start your business to do compliance. You didn't start your business to be like, well, I have to create this now, or I have to do this week. Like, that's not fun. Your business should be fun. So now that we've got these different kind of ideas in our head for what are the high ticket paths, what could you be selling? Okay, we're going to move into part 3, which is the actual sales system, the sales system that sells for you. So this really has to do with the individual marketing and sales funnels that we build together. So once you've chosen your high ticket pathway, the next step is building the sales system. Okay, so step 1 is to validate your offer, to really get the juices flowing in terms of what could you sell as a high ticket offer. Look at what's already selling in your store. Look at your reels that have done really well on Instagram. Look at the people that have popped into your DMs and given you raving reviews or have further questions that they want to ask you. Okay, that's market research in action. Use that data to really identify the number one transformation that people want most. Okay, in my course, How to Make More Money as a K-12 educator turned entrepreneur, is going to help you with this ideation. Okay, so that mini course is $34, just to go ahead and drop that into your minds. Okay, step 2, okay, for building this sales system is to simplify the buyer journey. Funnels are not complex, and they should not be complex. You want to make the decision for your leads crystal clear as to, I'm the one you need to choose for this. So you don't need a 10-step sales funnel. You don't need 50 emails, okay, or fancy software. Really, the key to a high converting funnel is your messaging. It's your messaging. That's your sales copy. And it's an irresistible offer that messaging is selling, and a clear path for your buyer to say yes. So this can be as simple as a free lead magnet that comes into your email series that then they book a call, right? And you pitch your high ticket offer. Now, what I will say is oftentimes, right, we have a lot of freebies on TPT, and our audience is used to us coming out with different freebies, maybe monthly or every week, right? So I really want you to look at, what's my number one converting freebie? Like, what's the number one? Like, do I need to create more freebies? Do I want to create more freebies? Like, what is this funneling into? And I would encourage you to really narrow that down to 1, so that after that, someone goes, okay, I've got to buy something. So that's the way I coach my clients, because we get decision fatigue. Let's be real, with the rise of AI, with the endless creation everyone's doing, people sometimes look at this list of all these things and they're going, well, I just want something to teach tomorrow. And they're going, well, which freebie do I choose? Well, which $5 thing do I choose? And then it's like, well, maybe I'm not going to choose anything because I don't really know, right? So you've got to reduce and eliminate decision fatigue for your buyers, whether this is in your TPT store or whether it's with selling a high ticket offer. Third step to this sales system, the high ticket sales system, is to sell the outcome, not the hours. So high ticket is not about adding more hours. As I described to you all by the example I gave, at any given time, the max I've ever worked since I launched has been 20 hours a week. That's been the max, okay? So high ticket is not about adding more hours. I'm going to repeat that again. It's not about the hours. That's not what you're selling. Okay. My clients do not create these results of selling insanely, like what people would call expensive, right? Offers by chance. It happened because they chose to price their worth, and they're not selling, hey, this is what you're going to get. This is the deliverable. They're selling the transformation, and many of you already have the results to prove it. So you need to be using that data when you are selling your offer and writing the sales copy for it. So you have to position your offer like there is no one else on the planet who can do what you do. That has to do with selling the outcome. And then you have to let your funnel do the talking. So you shouldn't be this walking, talking, endless content creation hamster wheel. Like your funnel should be set up and automated so that you are not having to be at your computer all the time creating new stuff, okay? And that's what we do together with both emails and social media as the nurture steps in your funnel. So moving into part 4, and by the way, I forgot to say, please be recording your questions because Chris did tell me that there will be a Q&A time at the end of this, so make sure you're writing those down. So the mindset and the mission, part 4. The shifts that you have to make in your mindset, starting with, it's okay for me to want to make more money. It's okay that I don't want to sacrifice endless hours. Those are probably the 2 most common, right? These things are what's going to make your high ticket business work. This is where teacherpreneurs and K-12 educators often get stuck because we think to ourselves, well, who am I to charge that much? What if they say no? Is it okay to want more? Let me tell you what I tell every single one of my clients, which is you are not selfish for desiring more, and you're not greedy for wanting to build generational wealth for your family, for yourself. You're not greedy for wanting to pay off debt or to buy the house or to save for this vacation or to do that thing, right? These desires are evidence of your calling because making money isn't about making money for the sake of making money. It's about providing insane transformations for people. So your income is an overflow of a result of the impact you're having. So it's time to shift in your brain from I hope this works to I've been chosen. I've been chosen for this work. And when you sell from that kind of energy, it's game over. People are like, yeah, right? The path is clear, you're confident, and you get the result. So now that we have, walked through these 4 different parts, let's take what you've built on TBT and multiply it in every way, financially, spiritually, intellectually. Because when people come into my world, we're not here to play small. We're here to leave a legacy. And I know as educators, you all have that heart. And now that that you've seen how to pivot what you already sell into high ticket offers, I would like to share with you the 2 next steps that I have available for you. So the first is if you want to take a step that really says I'm all into the world and I'm not holding back, then my year-long program Permissionless, okay, is where it's at. So you're ready to go deeper, create or refine your high ticket offer and build the full sales funnel to support it. Okay, so this is really for educators that are ready to eventually get to this place of selling $50,000 plus offers with clarity, peace, and God-led purpose. So I want to be transparent that I am a Christ follower. So I coach from a Christian lens and also from my assistant principal background, as well as years in entrepreneurship. So with this mentorship, there are 2 options. You can take the done by yourself path, or you can take the done with me path, which is where you'll work directly with me. I'll review your sales copy weekly and we talk every single day. Okay. It's so much fun. So this is really where we build the kind of time and financial freedom that changes everything for you. Now, if you're needing kind of a smaller step first, if you will, that feels a bit safer to you, like I said, I created a mini course, okay, that I mentioned earlier that's already helped hundreds of educators go to move from affordable pricing into aligned premium pricing, okay, by changing how you think about money. So that really dives deep. It helps you to kind of come up with your high ticket offer idea, but it also dives really into the part 4 that I mentioned with the mindset. Like, you've got to have the mindset work, and we definitely do that together inside Permissionless. The mini course is included in Permissionless. You can also credit it towards your purchase. But it's really going to help you to shift your thinking more with some of the things you heard from me today. So whether you want to start slow with the mini course or you're ready to go all in, okay, you're ready. You already have the foundation. You already have the foundation with TPT. So I would love to build that next level with you. I am going to drop several links in the chat for this. So I'm going to drop the permissionless link. I'm going to drop the mini course link. And then I'm also going to drop my Instagram handle link, because a lot of people love to hop in my DMs and just talk to me about, hey, which offer do you think is best for me? Where do you think I should start? They may even have some deeper questions that they want to ask me as well. So I will drop all those in the chat. And then
Christina, tell us about your podcast and where we can find you on Instagram.
absolutely. So my podcast is What Stina Says. It is on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So What Stina Says, it's the go-to podcast for K-12 educators ready to build their 6 and 7 figure businesses. I cover a variety of topics on there, anything from selling to districts, increasing your prices, how faith and money work together. So definitely check it out. I give lots of tangible strategies there that you can plug into your business right away. Um, so yeah, and then I'll also give you the links for if there's a specific episode where you're like, I love this, I want more. I give you the links in the show notes for where to find that.
And where can we find you on Instagram?
So at Heart for Children, and then I also have my brand new account at Heart for Schools. So, like I mentioned to you all at the beginning, Heart for Children really started out as selling to schools and then evolved into business coaching. So I've started a separate funnel for working with schools, which is really, really exciting. So I give lots of content more geared towards working with schools and districts. So would love to chat with you all on Heart for Children.
Christina, thank you so much for being with us.